to One Girl in All the World, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy, newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. So it's Tough Love Tuesday.
Tough Love Tuesday.
Tough Love Tuesday.
Is it? It's not Tuesday, though.
It is when it comes out, Kimmy.
Like, you're cheating me of my work week. It made me feel like I was like, wait, was it Tuesday today?
Yeah. Yes, it comes out Tough Love Tuesday.
Okay.
So, where did we even...
We left off with Buffy kissing Spike.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay, that's where we left off. I know. It's been a day. Okay. It's been a Tuesday. So this episode is really good, and it really gets the ball rolling for the finale. Things do not really slow down again.
Happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so Tough Love originally aired May 1st, 2001, written by Rebecca Rand Kirshner and directed by David Grossman. Mm-hmm. And the synopsis is, Buffy must step up as the authority figure for Dawn now that their mom is gone. All while fearful that Glory is closer discovering the key when a member of the Scooby Gang is her latest victim.
Who was correct, by the way?
You were. He's like, you just keep guessing Tara. Eventually you'll be right.
Fern.
Okay. No, but you were correct. I will give you the props. You were correct. All right, so we're on campus, and Buffy's coming into her poetry class because she has to get her professor to sign some papers because she is dropping out of school.
She's withdrawing from school.
She's dropping out of school. Hopefully, she will be back in a semester, but she has to sort like the caregiving stuff out with her sister.
Yeah.
So she needs to. She explains to her professor that she needs to take care of her sister. She's hoping to be back.
It's like a nice moment between her and her professor.
Yeah, Buffy doesn't really get along with a lot of teachers, usually. Yeah.
They're kind of rude to her for asking questions.
She's had like 2 teachers that have been nice to her. Yeah. This is one of them.
One of them ended up being horrible.
All of them, except for this guy and the one that lives in Bad Eggs. The one that was like, you prove them wrong. Like, prove that permanent record wrong, that teacher.
Okay, because I was thinking of Professor Walsh, too.
Yeah, well,
Walsh was nice to her at one point.
Yeah, then she ended up trying to kill her. But
yeah, so that's what I said. Then she turned around. Anyway.
Yeah.
I thought this was like a cute moment between them. She's like, I like the poems. I just don't, like, basically says I don't have time for long poems. Maybe those short poems, those little Japanese ones that sound like a sneeze.
Haikus. Yeah, so he signs it for her. And she just, like, tells him how much she, and really enjoyed the class. And hopefully she'll be back to school. So at the hospital, Ben is running in to the disheveled looking into the hospital, and he's been fired.
Yeah, because he's been gone for 2 weeks.
Apparently, he's like, you didn't show up for 2 weeks, and Ben's like, I've been gone for 2 weeks. He didn't know, so he's been Glory for 2 weeks, so he's lost a lot of time.
She's getting stronger.
Yeah, I think she's becoming Glory. He's becoming Glory more often than Ben.
More Glory, less Ben.
Yeah. And he's mad at Glory, and he's like stuffing everything in his locker, like packing his locker. And I think this like emotional upheaval brings Glory on because he turns into Glory in the locker room.
Yeah.
And she says she's hungry. And then we go to the credits, and we come back, and at Glory's, she's in the bath with her like minions all by the side of the tub, blindfolded with different. One has a mimosa, one has a loofah. I don't know what the other one has. But they're just there to like serve her, but not look upon her glorificiousness. And she's saying that, okay, she's kind of recapping. You guys spied on everybody. You brought me that vampire. That was useless. But the intel you gave me might still be, like, go tell me more. Like, tell me it all again, because I think there's probably the clue there that we're looking for.
She's like, I just have to figure it out.
I just got to figure it out. Mm-hmm.
You guys suck, but I can get this. I
get this. Yeah, and we're gonna like sniff out the key that way. At school, Buffy and Dawn are in the principal's office, and we find out that Dawn has been skipping school.
She lied about it, too.
Yeah.
She's like, Buffy's like, you said you were going to school. And she's like, well.
She said, when I asked you about school, you said it was fine.
Yeah.
And she's like,
it was fine. I just wasn't there.
Yeah. It was fine. You just didn't ask if I was there when it was fine.
This doesn't sound like something. What is she supposed to be again?
14.
This does not sound like 14-year-old behavior. Did you ever cut class when you were a teenager?
I've never cut a class. Well, maybe in college.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
no,
cutting in
no,
college.
it's not. I'm talking
Yeah.
like high school, and she
No,
wouldn't
no,
even
no, no.
be in high school yet if she's 14.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Um,
Naughty Dawn.
so the Buffy's trying to be like, we've been through a lot, but I'm gonna make sure Dawn like buckles down. And then the principal wants to talk to Buffy alone
Yep.
without Dawn in the room, and we
And
don't see that conversation either.
no, we don't, but we find out about it later.
Later. So at the Magic Box, Anya has discovered capitalism. Anya has discovered capitalism.
The good old us of A.
Yes, she's like, I'm an American, and capitalism is what built this country. And Willow's like, oh, democracy? No, capitalism. She's like, this is amazing. See these people shopping? They're un-American. If you tell me, like, yeah, because they're not buying anything. And I forgot about this line, but she's like, it's also un-American? The French.
Oh yeah, that was so random. What?
She's been reading up.
Tip.
They don't tip because, like, obviously, like a lot of cultures don't tip. And yeah, so Buffy and Dawn arrive in, and Xander calls her Don Giovanni, which is like the Mozart opera reference, but it's D-O-N instead of D-A-W-N.
That was cute.
How, like, I appreciate the reference, but there's no way in hell Xander would know this, in my opinion. Right? So Buffy tells Dawn to start working on her homework, and she wants to talk to Giles in the training room alone. And she basically says, she's getting in trouble. Like, I can't handle her. I don't know what to do.
You need to do this. You need to get your foot down with Dawn.
You're like my dad, so can you be her dad too?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're grown up.
He's like, oh yeah, because you listened to me so well. That was like, the best
I
part.
listened.
Just think of how well it would go with Dawn if you can't even listen to him.
Yeah. So he's like, no, you're her sister, you're her guardian, you're her only family. You need to do this for her. Like, you need to do it. You can do it. And she like kind of psyching herself up to like take charge. She's like, order, discipline. And then she walks out of the training room to see Anya, Xander, and Willow like on the floor, and like Dawn standing around them, and they're like acting out a like algebra problem.
Some sort of triangle thing?
Or geometry problem. And Buffy gets really mad. She's like, you guys shouldn't be messing around. And, she's really like trying to like put down the hammer here. Down. Putting her big old Slayer foot down. And then Willow and Buffy, they don't argue.
It's a little tiff. Like, Buffy it's Willow not understanding, which honestly is true.
Yeah. I think they both have points here. Like, Buffy's like, this is very serious. And also, no one else knows about this conversation with the principal, which is what really put Buffy on edge.
But, like, to be fair, I didn't know what that conversation was at this point, but I got annoyed with Willow, too. I was like, they need to take this seriously. Like, Dawn was cutting school. Like, she needs to get her shit together.
Yeah.
Buffy needs to be a mom, and Willow has to, like, it's not fun and games right now.
Yeah, when the Willow's point is that we were learning, we were like acting out a thing, and like Willow's, she's like, no, I'm pro school.
Yeah,
like fair. Of course, like I need to go to school and everything, and so they're just having like a difference of opinion, even though Willow's not raising Dawn, but she's whatever. She's given her opinion anyway. She also says that Buffy needs a break because she's very stressed, and she should go with her and Tara to the multicultural fair. But Buffy's like, no. I can't. I have to take care of Dawn.
Fun right now.
Yeah, no fun. So Buffy and Dawn go home.
Well, she's like, yeah, because Willow says something about you still need a life, and Buffy says,
I have a life.
Dawn's life.
I have a life. Dawn's life. Like, okay. All right, Buffy, calm down. So at Glory's, Glory has went through all the puzzle pieces, and she's figured it out. That she's figured out who the key is. But we don't get any more information. We're kind of kept in the dark a few points in this episode. Yeah. So at Willow's,
we'll learn as we go.
Willow and Tara are getting ready to go to fair, and this, I feel like this is a very accurate representation of an argument between a couple because it just kind of snowballs out of control.
Because they both this totally happens all the time. They both keep trying to say their point, and maybe they've reworded a bit, but it's the exact same point. They just keep restating it, and it's just back and forth. And I'm like.
And then it just goes from one issue at like hopscotches to like 3 different issues.
Yes, of course. Until other things. Oh, but I was annoyed about this thing too. So let's bring that up.
since we're going at it, like let's do it.
I mean, let's just bring it all out.
So it really escalates here. Yeah. So Willow is upset because she feels like well, when she's telling Willow was telling Tara about like what she was talking about with Buffy,
Mhm.
and Tara's like, "Oh, I feel bad for Buffy.
Yeah,
I understand
she
because like she
understands
lost her mom,
exactly. Yeah,
and like
she
her
has to watch
brother,
Dawn full time.
yeah, and her brother went through a lot of stuff, so she's kind of like can relate and all that." And Willow's like, "Well, it feels like my opinion doesn't matter because I didn't like my mom didn't die,"
Mm.
and she kind of tells Tara that she's kind of like a know-it-all about this situation. She says like knowledge girl,
And
but
I
I got the impression that it was like a know-it-all about
and
this.
I feel like, yeah, I didn't really think that was fair. I feel like Willow's just
Yeah.
feeling like Buffy was annoyed at her, so she's feeling upset about that, and she kind of took it out on Dawn. Dawn was just trying to be like, "Hey, I get where she's coming from," and was trying to explain where Buffy was coming
Oh,
from.
Tara.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Tara.
No, that's right.
I think I wrote. Anyway, Tara was trying to tell Willow like, "Hey, like I understand. I know where she's coming from. Like this is kind of like maybe how she's feeling right now." And Willow's just like, "Oh, you're taking her side." It's like, "Oh my god." I
Okay, I'm
got really
sure that
annoyed at
like,
Willow
yeah,
and
I'm sure Tara and Buffy would really like not to be part of this club
exactly.
that they found
Yeah.
themselves in.
And Tara's not trying to be like, "Oh, Buffy's right, you're wrong."
Yeah, she's just saying like I get like her perspective because she's like a
Exactly.
sole caretaker for her sister now.
Yeah.
Um, and then it turns into like a conversation about
Yes.
magic,
Mhm.
and where Tara says that you're you're progressing so quickly and so much that it frightens me.
Yeah, and that
And
word was a little
that word,
shocking.
like Willow's like, "What? You
Yeah.
don't trust me? You this and that." And then it turns also in is it Tara says she's worried about how like how quickly she's going with magic. And then it turns into
Are you gonna like boys again?
yeah, like Willow's like, "Oh,
Where did that
do
come
you not
from?
trust that I'm gonna like okay, so how it kind of like went was that Tara said, "I don't know how I'm gonna fit in your life." Dot 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 dot.
Yeah.
And Willow
And then
says,
Willow's like, "Do you think I'm just gonna
"What do
like
you
boys
mean?"
again?"
Yeah, like when I get over this experiment, and then is that what you think? And then Tara's like, "Should I think that?" I'm like, whoa, guys! Like, I want to step in and be like, "Ding, ding, ding! Wait a minute, you guys are getting out of control."
This is what
Um,
happens with fights, though.
yeah, it
Emotions are
escalates.
hot, and I don't know. I had to admit, I did get annoyed with Willow in this argument. Like
Yeah,
she was being a lot. She took it all to her, and she just kind of like turned something that could have been like, "Hey, maybe I should try and see Buffy's point of view more," and just like, wow, it was like an explosion, basically.
it did not go well. And then Willow leaves. It's like you have fun at the multicultural fair, and she leaves. So at Buffy's, Buffy's like, okay, she's still on this thing. We're gonna have a chart, like a chore chart.
Schedule.
We're gonna have a schedule. We're gonna have gold stars. We're gonna have all kinds of.
I
We're gonna
love
have a
this.
system. We're gonna have a
This makes
system.
me happy. This
I
is
know
my
if
happy
I would be
place.
like, yay,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
But Dawn is not having it. She's
She's like,
like,
"No. Mm-mm.
I'm not even real. I don't need to like do my homework. I don't need to
What's
do
the point?
this. She's just
What's the
like
point?
rebelling, really, in this moment.
Who cares if a key gets an education?"
Who cares? And then Buffy kind of snaps and says, because they'll take you away. Like the state will take you away. That's what your principal told me when she sent you out of the room. And if I can't control you and you don't go to school, they're gonna either send you to dad or put you in foster care.
Yeah.
Is what are two of the
So
options.
it just got real.
And that is like a bucket of cold water on Dawn.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And I'm really
So
glad Buffy said it. Well, and then she was even like, "You could have told me that." And Buffy's like, "I just did."
yeah, it was like literally today. So
Yeah.
that I got
Yeah,
told this.
exactly. Like I feel like Donna's being a little bratty, and I'm glad this was like a good wake up call for her.
Yeah, I think she's like, oh shit, I need to like get my act together if I want to stay with my sister.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does shake her. You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the fair, Tara sits alone at the bench, and everybody's having fun, and she's just like,
She's looking so
yeah,
sad.
she's
Yeah.
sad. And then we also see Willow like moping at the magic box,
Also looking sad.
also looking sad.
Everyone's sad.
Everyone's sad. And then back at the fair, we see someone like hold Tara's hand, and she's like
She's
thinks it's Willow.
excited.
Yeah, she
That's
thinks Willow's
great.
met with her like makeup, and we look over, and it's Glory. Oh my God, it's Glory. Did this surprise you?
Yeah, it did actually.
Oh my God.
I really thought it was just gonna be Willow's hand. Even though my guess was that Tara was gonna be the next target. Damn, I was
Yeah,
just like, "Well,
yeah. So we're like, oh no. And then at the magic box, Willows talks to Giles about the fight because she's obviously down, so he wants to know what's happening. And he's like, oh, it's okay. You guys, it was their first fight, and like it happens. You just can't have a relationship where like, you never fight. Like then you're not really probably addressing things that are
yeah,
actually going on.
yeah,
Um, and uh, while he's talking, he so smoothly opens the door, and no, he doesn't tell there's a minion listening in. Because he opens the door and immediately hits him in the head with it, like
Yeah,
on
I know.
purpose.
How did
Like,
he do
so
that?
calm, cool, collected.
Like nothing
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. And so, yeah, so Giles captures one of Glory's minions and is gonna, like, torture him. Or he's gonna beat him for information. And he's like, I will never talk. I will never betray Glorificus. And then Willow turns her back and we hear like a and he's like, okay, okay, I'll tell you. I mean, we don't know what Giles did to him, but he broke pretty easily.
Damn.
So the minion says that they have been watching the Slayer's people, and we've been looking for like who's who the key is, like who's new and special and all this. And um, Willow says, "Oh my gosh, should I call Buffy?" And she says, and the minion says, "No, it's too late. We're gonna find the witch and like we're gonna get her." And they're like, "The witch? Like, okay, okay."
Yep.
So she's
And
targeting
then
Tara because he
Bella's like,
says,
I'm out.
"Yeah," because he says, "Oh, she's the newest among you," which she is.
Which is true. Yeah.
So yeah, Willow runs to the fair and she tells everybody like call the cavalry because we got to find Tara. So at the fair, Tara and
This was
well,
hard to watch.
yeah, I could say that Tara and Glory are
Glory.
talking, but Tara never says anything.
No.
Glory's crushing Tara's hands
Yeah,
slowly, like
it
crushing all
sounds
her bones in her hand.
horrible.
Yeah, it's nasty. And so of course this is very painful. But Tara like does not say anything.
No.
Um, and she kind of just says like, "Oh, I found you. Like you're the key." Ooh, like she's so happy. And then she like licks Tara's blood because
Well, because
she
she crushed her
is
hand so hard that she's bleeding. I was like,
yeah,
oh
yeah, she's
my
crushing
God.
it to a degree that blood is running out.
Oh,
And so she licks the blood and she's like, "Blood! Like this is not
I
key blood.
do
This is
not understand.
regular human, stinky human blood." And like Spike's in the background. "I beg you differ." No, he's not. And she's like, "Great, you are useless." Another like false key alert.
And she threatens her. She's like, tell me who it is, or like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna drink your brain. And Tara does not break.
right. Yeah, and she does this. Yeah, she does like the same like strategy that she did with Spike. Not the key, okay, but you probably know who the key is, so I'm gonna try to torture you. And she like, yeah, she gives her the chance like to tell me, and I'll let you go. And Tara does not say anything. So, and then we also see Willow looking
She's
for
looking for
Tara through
the
the. She's like running through the crowd. There's all these people, and also should mention that Glory says to Tara that if you raise an alarm or you try to call for help, I'll kill everybody at this
oh
fair
yeah. Yeah,
too.
that's pretty
So
shitty.
yeah, that was pretty shitty.
She sucks. We don't like
Yeah,
her.
she's um. And then as Willow like kind of sees Tara in the distance on a bench with Glory, and there's like people walking in front of her, she can't get to her. We see that Glory like sucks
Starts sucking
Tara's
her brain.
insanity, her sanity out of her. And then as the crowd like passes, Glory's gone. It's just Tara sitting there,
And she looks like a shell.
and she's just kind of like looks like it has this vacant look in her eyes. And like Willow immediately like starts crying and like holding Tara. So at the hospital, Tara has like a cast on her hand. Like the whole gang's there. They did
She's got
X-rays and all this.
some crazy talk going on.
Yeah, she's talking gibberish, like we've seen from the other like victims of Glory. They have to keep her overnight in the psych ward, but they should be able to like let her go home the next day.
Hmm.
And Buffy arrives. She's like, "Dawn is safe with Spike, so I can be here for you, um, and I can be here as long as you need." So we go to the caves because Glory obviously knows where Spike's not his place isn't safe anymore because they found they took him from his crypt, so they know
Hmm.
where he is. So they're in the caves, and Spike is trying to keep Dawn like kind of positive and keep her from being too like scared. Um, and she's really feeling like so much guilt about like what
Yeah,
happened to Tara because
it's her fault.
she's
But
looking
it's
for
not
her.
her fault. Yeah,
No, of course not. But she does feel like guilty because she
feels
she
responsible.
she and Tara have like a nice relationship. Like her and
Yeah.
Tara have like a special relationship. Um, and I like when she's like, "Oh, like I'm so this and that," and he like tries to touch her head. He like tries to like pat her head, but then she turns around. And he's like puts his, he like jerks away. Like he tries to like comfort her, but he's like, "Oh no, oh, yeah." That was so cute. I
It's too
love that.
much.
That
Too
was cute.
much.
He's like, "Oh, you almost caught me like touching your hair." Oh, okay, because he like wanted to console her. um, and yeah, she thinks she's evil.
Yeah.
Um,
She's a
and
lightning rod for pain, and everybody around her just suffers and
suffers.
dies.
Like she's like, "Look at you!" Like, and Spike is very much still badly
She
beaten.
looks Fred.
Yeah. So she's like, look, you're limp, you're like bruises, like that's all because of me too. And like we don't know what like whatever gonna happen to Tara is my fault. And Spike's like, no way, like you're not evil, like I know evil and you're not it. And she's like, well, I might not be evil, but I don't think I can be good. And Spike says, well, I'm not good and I'm okay. So he's trying to like be like,
Just,
make her feel better. So at back at the hospital, Willow, now that Tara's like kind of like stable, she wants like revenge now. She's gonna go after Glory. And Buffy, air quotes, talks her down. She's like, Willow does have a good point here though. She's like, which is kind of made later, and Buffy doesn't really get it until later. But
Mhm.
she says, when is the right time? When it's someone you love, like
Exactly.
when it's Dawn, like when it's someone you love as much as I love Tara. And Buffy says, when we have a chance. This is like a
Exactly.
suicide mission.
There's no chance right now.
Yeah, and she's like,
Buffy,
okay, I won't go. And she's like, all right, like we will sort this out, but we need to like know what we're doing and have a plan.
yeah. Yeah.
So she thinks she talks Willow down. And so Willow goes right to the magic box and goes for the good stuff. She goes up the stairs and starts stealing all of the like the top dangerous stuff.
Getting some books and some stuff, and
Yeah.
she finds some scary looking book called
Darkest Magic. She gets
the K.
Yeah, so it's serious then. Also she gets like some daggers. Like she's just getting all kinds of stuff. And so at Glory, we go back to Glory's, and we're just there for a second before like or air quotes earthquake starts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Glory says like, did someone order an apocalypse? Like what's going on? And then the doors fly open and Willow just like floats in.
Damn, and she's like, her eyes are black.
Her eyes are blacked out.
Badass. She redeems herself to me in this moment.
She is hopped up on like all kinds of magic, and she just goes in there. And at first, she does like definitely give Glory a run for her money. She kind of electrocutes her.
Yeah, strikes her with lightning.
Yeah, and Glory is like screaming and like the most hurt we've ever seen Glory.
Oh yeah.
So she does like have the upper hand in the beginning. So at the caves, Buffy has gone back to pick up Dawn. So Spike is there, and she's kind of telling Dawn like what happened to Tara.
It's not her fault.
And she says that Willow wanted to go all like revengey, but I talked her down. And Spike's like, "Did you though?" Like, Buffy says like, "Yeah, I told her it was suicide."
Yeah.
And he's like, "So this woman with so much power, this really powerful witch, just got someone taken from her, and she's just okay with it now because you said it was a suicide mission?" And she's like, "What do you mean? Like, of course." And he says like he would do it for somebody he loved, like the right person. He would do it. Like talking about Buffy.
Clicks for her.
Air quote, guy. He
did do it.
Spoiler alert, guys. He's talking about Buffy.
Because he did. He just did it.
And then Dawn says, "Yeah, Buffy. Like, what if it was me?" Which was exactly what Willow said earlier, and Buffy like didn't get the thing. But when she says that, Buffy's like, "Oh shit, yeah, of course she is going." And I believed that what she said, but she was just trying to put me off. So Buffy takes off to go after Willow. So at Glory's, so now after that first initial shock, no pun intended,
she manages to break a mirror, but then Glory starts to fight back.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really do much to her.
Willow tries to like throw all those little knives at her, and then they all miss her.
Yeah, a little snake out of the rug.
That was really cool.
And then like Glory just shakes it off. Yeah, that doesn't barely like affect her. And then she starts getting some hits into Willow, and really like has the upper hand now. Like Willow is tired. She's like that took a lot out of her in what she was able to do then, and it really didn't make a lasting difference. So thankfully, Buffy arrived just in time. Oh, and Willow also spits in Glory's face, which was quite an insult.
Really pissed her off.
Yeah, but Buffy arrives just in time as Glory has Willow up against the wall by her neck. Why do I feel like this episode's so short?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Quick.
So Buffy fights Glory, and she's able to kind of get the upper hand on her because she says like the witch really slowed me down. Like so that initial hit kind of weakened Glory enough so she can like Buffy can actually get the upper hand, and with some help from like the last dregs of Willow's magic, they're able to like kind of like stop her for long enough to get out.
Yep.
And they run. So at Tara's dorm, that's how I know that Tara and her like don't live together, because Tara's walls are all like chalkboard black, like chalkboard paint or something. If you notice, like it's looks different from any dorm we've seen. So Tara and Willow are there, and Buffy and Dawn, and they're eating sandwiches.
Picnic.
Yeah, they're indoor picnic, and Willow is saying, you know, they're gonna take it slow, so she's feeding her applesauce.
Yeah, spoon feeding her applesauce.
And it is very sweet that Dawn's like, "Can I help?" and like is being very sweet to Tara and stuff, and like she's being very like not I won't say not Dawn, but she loves Tara, and she wants she like wants to help. She wants to be part of like helping take care of her, and that's really sweet. I liked that a lot. And Willow says, yeah, she's going to care for her, even if she never recovers.
Which is a lot. Because how long have they been together? Like
probably like a year.
Yeah, that's
a little more than a year, probably.
For someone that age.
Yeah, so she's going to take care of her rest for life, I guess. Wonder if she'll have to. I don't know.
Yes, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, she's my girl. I'm going to take care of her. And Buffy says, like, I know what you mean because... I know what you mean because she like plays with Dawn's hair, which Buffy does a lot, plays with Dawn's hair. And Willow says, I know you know. Like, I know you get it. And then...
the wall just breaks down?
One wall of the dorm is just blasted away. Yeah. And we also, like, when they were running out of Glory, she's like, this isn't over. Like, so Glory's back. She's like, I told you this isn't over. Like, I'm here. I'm gonna like get you, basically.
I'm getting annoyed with these little altercations. We gotta get this shit done.
Yeah, like we're running short of time. And everyone's like, whoa, obviously, scared. And Tara looks at Dawn, and because the people that are lost their brains or sanity to Glory can see Dawn's like true like nature or whatever. And she's like, oh, you're such like so beautiful, like pure green energy. And she's looking at Dawn. And then Glory's like, okay, it's you. So Glory knows.
And then that's the end of the episode.
And they're just all sitting there like stunned. Like what do they do? Yeah. And Glory's there. And now she knows it's Dawn. And then, yeah, that's all we get.
That is all we get.
That's all we get for the episode, which is cray-cray. I went through the episode so fast. I don't know how, but...
well, I don't know. Like, it just was a quick episode. Like,
yeah, I guess it was. I guess, yeah. Okay, so my favorite quote was, I might not be evil, but I don't think I can be good. And I think that's kind of... was a good quote, kind of not really because Dawn said it, but you know, we don't know like if Dawn is her true purpose. Like we know it opens a portal, but we don't know really if is she good, is she bad, is she neutral, is it just who wields her, like whatever. But also it's like a bigger like theme of the show, like good, evil. It's not that simple. It's not that black and white. So I thought that was good. And then my favorite scene was the last scene where they were like talking about taking care of Tara, and there's the four of them like having like a nice little moment, eating their little sandwiches, which wherever they got these sandwiches from, they're just in like Ziploc bags. I don't know where they got these sandwiches from. Yeah, somebody went to craft services and just made these sandwiches and then threw them in a bag for them to use as props. They're not great. And then of course, like Glory bursts in and the cat's out of the bag with Dawn. Now she knows it's Dawn. So lot was in that scene. So I picked that one.
That was a good scene. Mm-hmm. I had two quotes toss up. One of them was when they're at the hospital, I want to say. Yeah, I think they're at the hospital and they're wheeling Tara away, and Willow's like, she's kind of fretting, and she's like, how am I gonna sleep tonight? Like I don't have anyone to sleep beside me. Yeah. And Anya's like Anya offers to sleep with her, and she's like, well, that came out a lot more lesbian than it sounded in my head.
Yeah, she was trying to be helpful. Like, you can sleep with me.
Made me laugh out loud.
Yeah, that was really funny.
And then the other one, not as funny, but just like it was kind of cute. When Dawn is when Spike is trying to like comfort Dawn, and he's like, chin up, platelet.
Yeah, he always has so many cute nicknames for her. I also did like when Anya said, like, you know what's un-American? French people.
Anya had some good lines in this
She
episode.
did. She brings the levity. She brings the
And my favorite scene was actually when, like, that scene between Spike and Dawn, and then when Buffy comes in, because it just like he was comforting her. I thought that was like
yeah.
a cute moment, and like I mean, he took a beating for her, basically. I mean, for Buffy, but
He was
like for
tortured.
her,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for her to protect her.
He loves
And
them both in very different ways, but
yeah,
he does love them
he
both.
does care
Yeah,
for her, and just yeah,
yeah.
seeing his care for her is just like he's really grown a lot in this season.
Hmm.
And then just when Buffy comes in and she's also accompanying Dawn, and it was just kind of like, okay, well, like you can't beat yourself up, basically. Like,
Yeah,
just like this, it is what it is. Yeah. So I just thought that was like a cute little scene. Yeah.
yeah. She just feels like all these people are sacrificing herself
Which
that
they are,
themselves to
but
keep her safe. Yeah,
but they
and
have
so she
to.
feels bad about that. Like I think
Yeah.
that's Like I feel like
Hmm.
that would be a natural reaction. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. All right, and then yeah, my stake rating was a 4.8.
Okay.
I said Crazy Willow. We get a little glimpse of like the capability of Willow's power in this episode, which is interesting because Tara has kind of seen this coming already. She like
Hmm.
said like how quickly you're going is it frightens me. Like I
Hmm.
worry about you with how much magic is like how much power you're taking on and all this,
Yeah.
and we
Yep.
see it here. Like
It
she took
manifests.
all this this dark magic like and just like had so much of it. Like yeah, her eyes were like blacked out.
Yeah.
Obviously, Glory finding out was the big woo of this episode.
Yeah.
So that was very important, obviously, for the season. And then Tara and Willow had their first fight, but even for their first fight, it wasn't like fighting over like who didn't do the laundry. It had a lot. There was a
It's
lot
like a
there.
big fight.
It was a pretty significant fight
It's
with
a
all the things they were
complicated
bringing
fight.
up. It was
Hmm.
like what Tara's been through versus like Tara's like life experience versus Willow's life experience.
Hmm.
Their with death, sexuality, and then like also like how they both like uh, use and the way they experience magic.
Yeah.
Like all
And
the,
they're
those
in
diverging
their
past there.
relationship with Buffy too, both of them.
Yeah. So it was significant. I think they had to make it significant enough that
Yeah.
it would really be painful
Yeah.
because they never get to make up because
Yeah.
Tara's not there
Stepping
anymore.
down. Yep.
So they had to make it like a pretty significant fight. If they just,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, well, who cares about,
A
you
little
know,
tip, like a
a
little
little,
whatever.
yeah, like a little like argue about who's borrowed somebody's sweater or whatever. Like that won't even matter. But this was a little bit more significant, so I think it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then also we get the first kind of inkling, which is what's going to happen to Dawn. Like because even though she's not like wasn't always human, she exists now, and social services are going to be interested in her, and like
Hmm.
I mean, there's going to be real questions about her custody and all of this, and
Yep.
like whether Buffy should do it, wants to, can, is capable. How's she going to pay for the house? Like, how's she going to do anything? How's she going to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So this is like the first, like, since Joyce died, this is kind of like the first like reality check for like Buffy, like that she can't just like, there questions are going to be asked
Yeah.
about who's caring for Dawn and all that.
It's a
So this
big
is
deal.
like the first time that that's really been brought up.
Yeah.
What else? Spike was very cute in this episode. He did very well in this episode. Uh, yeah, I think that's probably all I have to say.
Okay. I gave it a 4.7.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a lot of what you said. I liked the argument, like I mean I didn't like it, but the argument between Willow and Tara was, yeah, it was a significant thing. Like it was pretty big. Um and then yeah, like she was Glory's target. Just like I'm dying to know if she's gonna recover from this. Like, is she gonna be like this forever? I don't know. And just Dawn like acting out. She's still acting like a brat. Like, I just feel like we keep coming back to this. Like, you got to get your shit together. And she's just like, oh, okay. And then she just keeps not doing it. But
Mm,
this was like her wake up call. So I hope this
mm-hmm.
really is her wake up call. Like, I'm kind of getting over this whole like cycle that she's going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I don't know how much longer it's going to matter if she's like, I'm guessing she's not going to be around at the end of the season if she's the key. So, yes, I know. I'm not
No, I know,
actually
I know,
asking.
I know, I
These are my rhetorical questions. Yes. Mm. Anyway.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So I love this next episode. There's so much action. It's like a big adventure. Yeah.
Ooh.
So which one of the Oh, it's called Spiral.
Spiral.
Which one of the Scoobies gets car sick?
Weird. Xander?
Okay.
Xander or Giles? I'm giving two answers.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay.
We'll let you. We'll
Great.
allow it.
Okay.
Okay, so that wraps up season 5, episode 19, Tough Love. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with season 5, episode 20. Getting there. Spiral. See you real soon.